What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and you're looking at the box of some headphones from a company called BELLBOY. Now BELLBOY is a name that you'll probably associate with stuff like this. Inexpensive, small, wireless earphones, which is true. That is effectively what they're most known for. They've actually gone through 2 iterations of this particular product. But recently they've made a big push in terms of a quality step up, and they're also looking into a new product category with these headphones. A very interesting product, and this is sort of a first look into what that product is going to be. Now that step up in quality obviously starts on the outside already with the box. You can tell it's very clean, it looks good, the box is solid, doesn't squeak or anything, and overall it gives you a much more premium feel right away. Good picture of what is inside on the front right away, which is something I can always appreciate. And on the back, a good description of what is the feature set of this particular set of headphones. So overall, just picking this box up, you already get a good feeling about what is inside, which is obviously what matters. Inside the box, obviously you get the unit itself. You get a micro USB charging cable, obviously because this is a wireless Bluetooth headset, so you can charge the internal batteries. But you also get a 3.5 to 3.5 millimeter headphone jack cable, which is actually quite nice, which means you can use this with a variety of devices that don't support Bluetooth. So that gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of what you use this with. Now let's start with having a look around the unit itself. You can see that this one is nice and stealthy gray with some aluminium accents, which I think is a particularly nice combination. Up here we got the BELLBOY logo, hope you can see that. Then down the side here on the right you have all the controls that are integrated into the ear cup. You got your volume right here on the sides, play, pause and so on, and the BELLBOY logo down here. You can hear that it is quite clicky, which is nice, so no touch interface where you sort of have to guess if you press the button or not and hope that the headphones respond. You can really, it's very tactile, something is been pressed. The other side, nothing to see here, just the aluminium and the BELLBOY logo. You can see that these ear cups swivel a little bit for that little bit of extra flexibility in terms of the fit. These are on the ear style headphones, so they don't go over your ear. And you can see that you can also adjust the sizing here on the side. So they sit on your ears, and overall they're actually quite comfortable. This is nice and soft cushioning that just give you enough dampening to have it not be too tight, but still very snug against your ear, to give you a little bit of noise cancelling properties, and obviously to make sure that you can listen to the music that you listen to properly. And finally here on the bottom we have the charging port, the micro USB, we have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, the microphone, and a status indication light for power and pairing and so on. Now overall I think the design really works, especially the gray in combination with the metal and sort of the aluminium look here is quite understated, which is something I really like. I'm a little bit worried that these large faces on the side are going to scratch at some point. You can imagine if you're not too careful with it, or if you're wearing rings or something, that you might get scratches on that, but we'll have to see over time how that stands up. There are 1 or 2 rough edges, I have to admit. Up here is quite pointy, down here it's pretty sharp, and overall the mechanism is not too solid, because you can see there's only one little hinge up here. But those are small niggles that I think will be ironed out in further iterations for sure. But I think as a first attempt, I think this is a pretty clean, nice and compact design. Now thanks to the hinges here and there, they not only swivel, but you can also fold it into itself, like so. And you can hear that this will touch itself, which is also something why I am worried about scratches. But overall you can see that this is a very nice and compact way of throwing it in your bag and taking it with you. You don't get a carry case or anything, so that's a bit of a pity, because I think that's pretty much the standard these days with headphones. But still, this is a very nice and easy way to take them with you. The only downside is that then you have these 2 things sticking out, which are quite pointy. Now what can you expect from these headphones in terms of functionality? Pretty much anything you can expect from a set of headphones these days. Bluetooth or cable, so that gives you a lot of flexibility, like I already said. I like that all the controls are here and that they're tactile. Like I showed before, it's very clicky, which is a good thing. No, guessing or touch interfaces or swipes or whatever. Nothing too complicated, just simple, buttons to press, which is a nice thing. There's no inline remote or anything, so everything happens up here. and it takes a bit of getting used to and sort of remembering where the controls are, but it's a very sort of universal layout. So after 1 or 2 times, you're definitely going to be used to that. The downside of having, first of all, sort of let's say a metal button and having it on the ear cup is that when you're having these headphones on your head, it's a very noticeable click inside as well, which could be slightly annoying, but I find it actually a bit more comforting, again, knowing, not only feeling, but also hearing that you actually pressed the button. Now these headphones use Bluetooth 4.1, which is nice and up to date, meaning you can pair it with pretty much any smartphone ever made. But it's nice to have the additional flexibility of the 3.5mm headphone jack, so you can also pair it with older devices or music players in particular that are not compatible with Bluetooth. You've probably seen the call sign here on the side as well. You can make phone calls with this, has an integrated microphone, and you'll be all right up to 10 meters away from your device. Meaning it's a very suitable set of headphones to pair with your smartphone. Which brings us neatly to the subject of call quality and audio quality in general. 40mm drivers in here, which is nothing too large, but considering the size of the earphones and the on-ear style, I think it's not too bad. And they deliver a pretty reasonable audio performance. A little bit heavy on the low end of the spectrum, and at times it can sound a bit muffled depending on the music that you're listening to. But overall, they do a pretty decent job in delivering exactly what you need from a set of headphones like this. Call quality, it's a bit of the same story. It's not too bad. It's not super good either. You can clearly hear the other person, they can clearly hear you. You get a bit of interference here and there. Obviously it has to do with the Bluetooth as well, and it depends a little bit on where your phone is and how far away from your phone you are. But overall you're able to have a very decent conversation since the headphones are pretty comfortable on your head anyway. No problems there whatsoever. Speaking of comfort, these headphones weigh around 160 grams, which is not too heavy, and overall I think it's a nice compact design to begin with. The cushioning is nice, it feels very nice on your ears. It doesn't provide any kind of pressure or anything. I think it's definitely a set of headphones that you can wear for a few hours without any trouble. So good for, anywhere from your commute to working behind your desk for a little bit if you want a sort of a simple, lightweight, relatively solution. So what do we make of this first step into the headphone game from Bellboy? I think it's a logical step. I think after the 2 iterations of their earphones, this is definitely the way to go in terms of expanding the brand and expanding the product portfolio. Without doing anything majorly, radically different, and still utilizing all the knowledge they gained with those first 2 products. I think this particular set of headphones is a good first step though. It's not perfect by any means, it still has rough edges. And it still has steps to make in terms of outright performance, but I think it's a compact, stylish looking, very functional piece of kit, especially if you consider that you have the option of both using the 3.5mm headphone jack or Bluetooth. That just gives you a lot of extra flexibility that other brands definitely don't have. I think they're comfortable, I think they're nice to wear, and I think this is definitely a good set of headphones to own. Sort of in and around the house to listen to music, maybe when you're working, maybe in an office environment where you don't want to completely seal yourself off from the rest of the world. I think this is definitely a set of headphones that'll work there. It's by no means an activity lifestyle set of headphones, because there's no way this is going to stay on your head when you're doing anything too active. But overall, for casual listening, I think this is definitely a set of headphones to consider. I think job well done by Bellboy in creating a stylish set of headphones that doesn't blow you away on a single front, but does overall a lot of things very well. I like it, and it's definitely worth checking out what they are going to come up with next. This was Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the on-the-ear headphones from Bellboy. Definitely check out their website, see what they have to offer for you. We enjoyed making this video. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!